Alpha Nerd Entertainment.
It's Baloo the Bear! It's Baloo the Bear!
Chapter 1, Jungle by Day. Mowgli begins his journey to find the man village. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another No Death Run review. Today it is Jungle Book for the Sega Genesis. A unexpected surprise as I picked up and played this just a few days ago. Found a lot of fun in this game. Just simple, fun, good time platforming. Now, the platforming in this game is very different than most platforming, where it's on a linear basis, where you generally go from left to right, or just find your way through the level to an end goal. This one has an objective. It's collect, on normal anyways, 10 gems. If you get all 15, you'll get a bonus stage, but all that's required to complete the level is 10. So as I have 6 right now, I need 1 more to complete the level, right there, and we're done as we reach Bajira. Chapter 2, The Great Tree. Mowgli reaches the great tree where Kaa the snake awaits. So this level has some kind of out-of-place music. It's pretty awesome though. It's probably my favorite song in the whole game. So again, as I mentioned, each level makes you collect 10 gems, which will make you traverse the level in any order you choose. This one here has some minor puzzle solving elements, is the way you move up and down the tree. Very basic stuff. Just a fun level with a cool end boss. So let's do the GamePro magazine review. The graphics are brilliant. They're beautiful. They're made by the same people that did Aladdin for Sega Genesis. So coming from Virgin Entertainment, it's everything you would expect. Bright, vibrant, colorful, with a good choice of color palette and not too multi-mixed mashed like a box of mixed Lego. Everything blends nicely and looks excellent. 5 out of 5, no question for the graphics of this game. Its sound, the music isn't outstanding. A lot of it sounds like similar recycled stuff from Aladdin, which kind of sometimes feels a little bit out of place, which made sense in Aladdin, not so much in the Jungle Book, as I tear through this boss, who can be pretty difficult the first time you encounter him. But as you learn to just have a relentless attack and use different weapons, you can kill him rather quickly. But the sound is only about a 4 out of 5. The sound effects are excellent. The music is good, it's just nothing that really stands out. Chapter 3, The Dawn Patrol. The Dawn Patrol helped the man cub through the jungle. Okay, so continuing the review, the controls of this game are one of my favorite part about it. 5 out of 5. They're absolutely slick and smooth, and like I said, refined from Aladdin for Sega Genesis. The jumping mechanic, the way you bounce off enemies, is very smooth and very crisp. There's no button that needs to be held other than the jump button and you aiming your sprite, Mowgli, onto them and sometimes taking 1 to 2 hits to kill an enemy. You also have multiple amount of weapons at your arsenal, hucking bananas, double bananas, boomerangs, and even a pea shooter, if you will, a spit shooter, a dart gun, which is a whole lot of fun as well, and it just adds a whole new gaming mechanic to the game that I thought was kind of unexpected, and I actually underused in my first playthrough. The more I got used to it, the more I started to shoot all enemies and not just jump on them, but the controls are excellent. So what about the fun factor? The fun factor of this game, again, shines great. Maybe a little too easy. So for that, I'll punish it and give it a 4 out of 5 because it is a pretty damn easy game. That didn't mean it was an easy no death run. It didn't take me long to do, but I definitely hit reset more times than I'd care to admit. But with a game with tons of fall pits, that's to be expected as we find our way to Bagheera, your Black Panther Jaguar that I guess is your father if I remember accordingly to the movie. Chapter 4, The River. Mowgli makes his way down the river where you meet Baloo the crackhead. Look at those crackhead eyes. What's that all about? Baloo looks like he smoked a fatty or something even stronger and more illegal. I think he's smoking the rock, that Baloo. Baloo the bear! So another very bright, vibrant, colorful level. I love the choice of the blue in the background to this particular level. It just makes everything else pop. They do a great job with the coloring from background to foreground, and I think it's one of the techniques and art style that could even been done on the NES, in all honesty. I just think that has less to do with the power of a console and more the eye of the creator who chooses the color palettes design. I'm big on color palettes when it comes to games because I love good earth tones. I hate multi-mix mash color where it looks like you have a mixed box of Lego that's just all opened up and it just looks like an eyesore. Some games like Dynamite Heady and even Gunstar Heroes are a little too colorful for my taste, where it just looks like it's too busy and not clean aesthetically. Where everything we're looking at here is very bright, very colorful, but it's very aesthetically pleasing and easy on the eyes. But it's time to meet up with Blue the Bear! It's Baloo the Bear! It's Baloo the Bear! Probably my favorite part about this whole damn game. I don't know why I love stupid little things like that so much, as at this point you can't die. You get to these 2 lily pads, and whether you fall in the water or you play the little mini game, that's up to you. I thought it was kind of cool that they included an extra mini game, because if you do collect all the gems, there are actual bonus stages that I generally don't care to get to because it's not really required. Chapter 5, Baloo Downriver. Baloo helps the man cub finish his journey along the river. Now, just like the level with the elephants, this level here with Baloo, you can ride his belly across. There's no point though, because if you want to collect all the gems, you might as well start from where you're standing and work your way up and around. Another technique I found that was very helpful in not falling and dying, as there are a whole lot of pit deaths available in this game. Tons. But the best way for me to avoid them was be near the tops of the trees. So if I do slip and fall, there are many branches that can kind of catch me along the way before I reach the bottom. So it's like a fail-safe. The lower I am to the ground, the closer I am to pit deaths. So stay near the top and get those harder to reach gems first, and then when you work your way across the screen to the right, as you would in most games from left to right, then you can find whatever gems there are that you need left to require to get the 10 across the bottom. And I just found it's a safer way of doing it, because again, very easy game, but this game has lots of areas for pit deaths. Tons. I also like how Bagheer, the Black Panther Jaguar, is just sleeping all the time, because that's basically what cats do, is sleep 20 hours a day. Chapter 6, The Tree Village. Mowgli gets lost in a tree village as his journey continues. Chapter 6, The Tree Village. Kind of one of my least favorite levels. Now, only because it's harder, I guess that means I could like it and respect it for its challenge, but it's just stingy with health, so you just kind of have to be very careful at the start of this level. And there's also a weird spot where, like, when you jump, you can sometimes miss it if you're not pixel perfect. Who doesn't hate pixel perfect jumps? And one of those particular pixel perfect jumps is right here after this snake. Making this jump, if you're like a foot ahead, you're gonna fall and die, and even though you'd be like, that's bullshit, I definitely should have made it, you just don't. And I hate pixel perfect jumps. Who doesn't think of Revenge of Shinobi level 7-1 when you think of pixel perfect jumps? Okay, so as I traverse my way through this level, hucking bananas at enemies and jumping on their domes, there are these like little huts that when you're inside of them, if you push up on the D-pad, it'll teleport you to another hut, which is helpful for getting around. That took me a little bit to figure out when I first played through this level. I wandered back and forth, not quite understanding what to do. Again, why I have instruction manuals are really great, but like in any level, sometimes those gems are kind of hidden behind things, so I will jump inside of the huts, inside of the tree there, and just sort of search around for ones that are out of sight, if you will. The boss of this level too is actually, I really like the bosses in this game, though they don't take a ton of damage. They'll also kill you pretty quickly if you're not careful, as well as even though the game is very forgiving with the amount of hits it lets Mowgli takes, most of the challenge is in avoiding pit deaths. But if you're not careful in this level particular, or any of the levels, the hits will add up if you're not accurate when hitting the enemies, and some of them will catch you by surprise and finding another easy way to result in death. Now, what made this level a little bit more annoying is that it is very stingy with health. As you get to the witch doctor, the 3 monkeys behind the shield, pretty cool boss. I like the bosses in general in this game. King Louie's probably my favorite. Shere Khan's alright, kind of cheap though, but this one's not too bad. Took me a little bit to figure out my first time, but I found hanging in the right hand side of the screen beneficial to victory. Why is he still alive? Yeah, this was a very bizarre turn where the first 2 monkeys here took way more damage than they should have, like way more, in a very inconsistent way to all of my other attempts running through this game. That's absurd that he's still alive. What?
I don't know why he took so many hits. Weird inconsistency.
Chapter 7, The Ruins. The mischievous monkeys kidnap Mowgli and take him to King Louie. Super bright, super vibrant level, and probably the most colorful and beautiful level in the entire game. It's very busy and very chaotic. It makes you feel like the whole place is crumbling down, as it's supposed to emulate that from the movie, but there is no danger of anything falling or hitting you in this level. It creates more anxiety than necessary. And the interesting thing is, with all that commotion going on, it's actually one of the easiest levels in the entire game. There's also no pit deaths either. Even though you work your way all the way down, you feel like you got to be careful upon a first playthrough heading towards the bottom, but not at all. You can fall in any place as far as you want all the way down, and it just ironically has no pit deaths. That really took me by surprise, considering how many pit deaths there are in the levels previous. Kind of like they just threw you a bone on this one. We're like, haha, you were trying so hard not to fall and die up top, then when you finally got to the bottom, it was safe. A big fuck you, but cool looking level. Chapter 8, The Collapsing Ruins. Mowgli must find King Louie at the top of the ruined village. Now I can really appreciate this level, as considering the game is quite easy, this level actually ramps up the difficulty quite a bit. One of those levels where unless you master where to jump, where to go, and know the rhythm, which blocks fall, which ones don't, this is like definitely a life eater level that would get a lot of first time people to maybe chew up 5, 6, or 7 men, where most of the game probably wouldn't even take half of that from a person playing for the first time. So I do like the platforming. It's fun. There's just something engaging about, you know, careful popping and specific jumping that's required. It's a lot of fun. And again, I like the foreground and background imagery with the monkey and the shadow in the background jumping. It looks really good. Ironically enough, easy level to find all the gems, but the challenge is more in not falling all the way to the bottom to what can become reoccurring deaths. Also, the boss fight with King Louie at the end is probably one of my favorite fights in the whole game.
A little bit of a brain fart there.
I guess it's not a bad idea to point out that your best weapons are the double bananas or the rock pea shooter. I also thought it was kind of cool that the new live action film where they have an actual like little boy play Mowgli, they changed King Louie from an orangutan to an extinct Gigantopithecus inside the temple, as if there was like one last Gigantopithecus remaining, as there are no orangutans in India. But way back when there were Gigantopithecus, so I guess to kind of keep the animal life and animal science more accurate to what is actually indigenous to the country of India, they changed an orangutan, which is in like Papua New Guinea and Sumatra in Indonesia, not India, and changed it to a Gigantopithecus, which I thought was pretty cool. But I like that boss fight, but I just happened to whoop his ass really, really quickly and faster than normal, unlike my fight with the witch doctor earlier. Chapter 9, Jungle at Night. Night falls as Mowgli's journey nears its end. So as far as simple dialogue goes, I thought it was kind of cool that they titled Chapter 1, Jungle by Day, and, well, the second last level here, Jungle by Night. You know, I can appreciate that for what they're going with. This level's pretty irritating. A lot of fall pit areas. Again, I still stick to my strategy of hanging near the top, so if I do fall, I got some branches to grab. It makes me think about repetition. Some people watching this may say, hey, this game seems really repetitive, as all you do is collect 10 gems that are hidden and scattered throughout the level, and you do this in just basically different color swaps, different backgrounds, and with different trees and platforms and stuff to jump on. Yes, that would be true. It would be repetitious, but what game isn't? You think a Call of Duty first-person shooters, or any first-person shooter for that matter, is the same shit over and over. A beat-em-up game is extremely repetitive. You think of some of the greats like Mega Man, Sonic, and Mario, all great games from back in the day, but all extremely repetitive and carbon copies of each other when they would make sequels. So all video games generally are repetitive. It's just a matter if that repetition is fun or not. And one thing I think Jungle Book does very, very well is it definitely succeeds in the fun. A lot of people look back and praise these Disney games from both the 8-bit and 16-bit era, and a lot of people mention games like Lion King or Aladdin, maybe because they were bigger films, but no one talks about the Jungle Book, and I'm surprised by that, because I honestly think this is a pretty damn good one and really hits home with the fun factor. Okay, Chapter 10, The Wastelands. The last final level in Jungle Book. Shere Khan waits at the end of the wasteland before the Man Village. So like any good last level, you got lightning firing out of the sky, you know, that can hit you at any time if you're standing still for too long. Enemies scattered fucking everywhere, a grim, gruesome background. Of course it's raining. Of course it's dark. Of course the music is intense and ridiculous. Everything's dying. Everything's gone to shit. You know, you gotta save the day, because if you don't save the day, this is how the world's gonna remain rainy and lightning and everything burned to the fucking ground. These bats are pretty obnoxious, but I don't know. The music in this level is kind of out of place. It sounds a lot like the Jafar music, but I don't know, at least it adds to the intensity. This level is not hard, but Shere Khan can be an absolute pain in the ass if you're not careful. He has this stupid little rocks that move up and down, and if you are not quick, you will slip and fall to your death really quickly. And if you don't kill him the first time, you'll use all your good weapons up, and that kind of sucks, and then you'll be reduced to just the basic bananas, which do fuck all for damage really when fighting him. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching my no death run of the Jungle Book for the Sega Genesis. It's always fun to do these. I guess my end goal will be 50 no death runs, and from that point on, I'll pretty much more or less not care. I don't believe that sports games should have no death runs. Call me crazy, but beating up the computer AI in a sports season just doesn't qualify as a no death run, in my opinion. Especially in a sports game where you technically can't die. Like, I think sports games are better played with people, but that's just my opinion. So when I'm going for 50 no death runs, that's 50 individual games. This is now, I think, my 29th individual game. So yeah, I guess 21 more to go, and then I can just hang it up.
Let's go.
As I send Shere Khan spinning around in circles there. Thanks for watching.
That was the best I've ever done Shere Khan as well. Shere Khan. Sweet. No death run. The Jungle Book for the Sega Genesis. You can read all the prompt. Fun game. I really do enjoy this game. I'm newer to it. I used to own it. Actually, I ended up selling it because I didn't give it much play. The little girl was singing a song about the village. Is that right? How about that? Nothing amazing for the end. It does have a little cutscene, some dialogue, better than nothing. Some endings to some games are just terrible, so at least they provided something here. Congratulations, you have completed the Jungle Book. Your final score is blah blah blah, but can you do it on hard? Well, I definitely can. Maybe I will. Anyways, Jungle Book for the Sega Genesis, obviously on Super Nintendo as well. I think it's on Super Nintendo. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Either way, I really enjoyed this game. And I thought the no death run was necessary. Just because it's easy. And it was a very fun no death run. I did have one no death run that resulted in... It wasn't no death run, but I couldn't accept it because me and Shere Khan died at the exact same time. So even though I beat the game technically without dying, it showed a death animation right at the end, and then clicked. Well, there's Tommy Tallarico, and then it just went right to the end credits. So I sort of took a death. So I was like, fuck it, I'm stubborn. I gotta play it again. But anyways, guys, if you haven't played this one, it's some good, simple, classic 16-bit gaming fun. Nothing hard at all. A lot of fall deaths, that's for damn sure. But very easy, fun game. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys.